So I'm trying to give you a silent video, but I'm showing you how there's this very irregular ridge on this side, as well as the other side of this big bowl we're about to go down into. And in this big unusual ridge is a spot chopped out. So there's been some tundra buildup, but in general there's a 5-foot spot that's chopped out of this unnatural man-made ridge that's 100 years old, 1,000 years, I don't know. So we're going to walk through this as if it were a path, and we're going to look at how there's a path chopped out of the side of this hill so you can gently get down. I've cleared the trees out. This is the most clear this path has been yet. So you have this very unnatural ridge, all clumpy, obviously built up. You can see ground level is where all those trees are, the base of those trees, and this whole ridge has been built. So here we have this very unnatural, but very nice path that would have been 5 feet wide. And it's really interesting how it goes down and around. It intersects with other paths. This might have been a little intersection to get up and over. No shortage of moose dookie. So here's a path to the right and a path to the left. Path to the right comes up, goes to the right or left, opens back up to ground level. I'll give you a quick view of this beautiful valley. All winter it's been dead silent out here except for the crows. There's a robin, perhaps. What is it? So, the path, and then I'm going to return to somewhat silent video. So, I'm going to clear that tree out. I'm going to clear that brush out because the path comes around here. It would go that way, and so I'll clear that out. I'm not going to touch any dirt. I don't think that would be responsible. I won't move any dirt, but clear these trees out. So if it were a path, comes around, down, and you have this nice gentle slope into here. So I'll clear this out eventually so we can get down into my winter camp. For now, we're going to go around this way. There have been people camping here for a long time without going down and around everywhere. There are stumps cut off everywhere, and they didn't use a lot of their firewood, and so there's firewood dried. It's been there 5 or 10 years. Perfect for my campsite. Here's a couple examples. Firewood just needs picked up. Otherwise, there are not very many dead spruce trees. So this natural path would go through here. We're going to get down and around, and I think I'm going to go into a silent video again, just showing you what happened to my winter camp. It'll need rebuilt before winter. And so here, a very unnatural path outside of this big bowl. I'll get you a good view of this. One big dookie. So I think the path we just came off of might have been, if you're not too elderly or too disabled, that would have been their path, or perhaps that. And so I'll clear out probably that one. That was way more natural for an older person, for the way native Alaskans would have built it so their whole families could get around camp. So here, all of this very unnatural bowl. You want to go somewhere? Here's your path out. You don't have to climb up that ridge on the right. You don't have to climb up that ridge on the left. You have this natural walkway, very gently sloping out. All right. So this was not a pond all winter. I had my shelter right there that you've seen in previous videos. It was, those 3 trees formed a wall. But when I got here yesterday at 8 p.m., you can see the frame. It was all twisted and fallen that way. I think it's kind of unusual that all of my 1/4-inch bolts got sheared, but they were not the highest grade steel. Trying to find an example. So, that's a 6-inch bolt, but the weight on it very well could have snapped it. I hope nobody messed with my camp. It's not a big deal if they did. I don't own anything on this earth, but everything got wet. Oh man. And so my 2 pieces of sheet metal here will sit there for a while. I'm gonna turn them over so the brown side is showing and it's not an obvious, so obvious. These are all my poles that will be reassembled. I should have put diagonal cross members. I have horizontal and vertical cross members. I didn't do one single diagonal cross member to keep things from twisting. But it was great fun when it was built, and it will be great fun again. I had charcoal so I could start a fire really well. These are just junk that I picked up from another campsite. Junk I picked up. I've been cleaning up the whole area. But it was just really unusual for everything. Everything inside my toolbox was full of water. This was full of water with the lid closed. And it hasn't been raining really hard here, but whatever. Everything's getting dry. I'll be here for a couple hours. I'm gonna finally burn the old blanket I found out here. It was good for padding because it didn't have any mouse droppings on it when I found it last year, the year before. Now it's had mouse droppings on it. It's gonna get burned. Um, I left camp shoes here. They'll be dry by the time I leave today. Well, or else I'll take them home and wash them. I can't have moldy camp shoes. Yeah, those are going home. Nothing is drying. So, all the bags for my nuts and bolts. Not a total loss. I always have more paper for starting fires. That's just plastic sheeting for different purposes. But we're going to give you a tour of the other kind of bowl-shaped areas here. Dugouts, I'm sure. It's funny. On our way, I'll show you some things. There must have been some snowmobilers get stuck because they got out a chainsaw and they did a number on a couple trees right here. There was a snowmobile trail coming up this valley, and I think somebody got wrapped around this tree because they diced it, man. They sliced and diced it for no reason. But it's weird. They sliced and diced another one off the trail. Let's get down there. Here, more firewood. Previous years of people cutting. I should have used my path. Maybe give you a walk down to the creek side too. So that snowmobile came up this valley. That tree was in their way. So there was a, you could see it in the snow. Somebody had to go up and around. Somebody went this way. They really had a tough time getting up and out of this. But they shredded this tree. I don't know where it came from at this point. But it's weird. I know I did not cut this tree. Matter of fact, I must have. No, I did not cut this tree. But, okay, creek side, and then I'll show you some dugouts. As soon as the ground thaws, I can burn this tree. I've never even seen this tree. It's been grown over. It's still frozen in. Coming soon. A very high quality camera for my YouTube channel. wonder if crows chase geese. Let's see if that crow catches up. I think he's just catching up with his buddy. There's your crows for you, Dad. So the river is 2 miles that way. Big, huge swamp on the way. All right, to show you 3 dugouts. So we're gonna go right instead of left. We came from the left. I think a snowmobile went over that this winter. Yep. So I think this is my first time here in May. I was stuck in depression last year and did not get out until June or something. So this, I'm sure, is a dugout. I'll show you it from every angle. Nice gentle slope leading down to it. It would have been built over with adobe, mud bricks made from the soil here, along with trees harvested from the river, or perhaps the trees were more plentiful here, or perhaps this has always been a nice grove. This is a very seldom grove of spruce trees in a very barren tundra. Here's the old campsite I've been cleaning up. Leave no trace. Who? What? Don't have my pliers on me. I'm gonna set my phone down probably. Let's see how this. Oh. And with that, there's less of a trace. Sorry for the camera floating everywhere. There are no rocks on the tundra, so somebody brought those in. I'm slowly moving this pile of rocks to my campsites. I've cleaned up most of the wire ties. Still a couple wire ties. So, this, what I believe to be a dugout. So here you have very natural top of the hill. A very unnatural top of the trail. Little trail, nice and gentle slope going down in a bowl shape. quite a bowl shape. Quite a bowl shape dugout. I like it. There it is. On to the next ones. We're gonna walk way around camp. Huh. You think there's still Pepsi in there? I definitely don't want anything in my pocket liquidy. Nope, there's no Pepsi in there. Whatever happened to my can of Pepsi? Well, the grossest glob of globby globs came out of it. And now it's going to my junkyard. So we're going way around camp. I cut down 7 or 8 trees that were 20 foot. 10 to 20 feet. So I'm going to make sure to put all the branches to good use, mostly in a fire, some for bedding. So there's your kindling pile. I'll give you a reference point. We're just over one ridge from camp. So here's a very narrow, thin wall of dirt, 6 feet tall above the valley. So here's this valley, and the wall of dirt we're looking at is 5 feet across, and it comes to a point. That's my trail through there to get to camp. So they built a wall 6 to 10 feet tall, 10 feet wide at the base, and it comes to a point. This is the path I took all my trees over. There's a point. That ain't natural. And so here's the valley. The bowl, the very unnatural bowl. So I think this was a giant dugout. And I think they had timbers across portions of it. I think in the winter they would have built up snow and made level platforms. But the experts in the region would say exactly how they did it. But I want to go back where I came from and show you this unnatural ridge. So we're going back through there. More firewood. I'm really glad you're on this hike with me. I want to encourage everyone, not just Alaskans. Give us a video of where you're at, please. We don't know this amazing world like you do. You have a YouTube channel that's accessible through Google. It is your Google YouTube channel. And even though Google will ask you to pay for video storage on your Google Photos account, you get free video storage on your YouTube account. You can make it private so that nobody can see them. You can make them so only people with the link can see them, or you can make them public. If you feel like it, make a video and post it under my comments. I don't edit anything for the most part. I'll cut the ends or the beginning off my videos, but if your video doesn't have anything offensive, I'll post it. I only have a whopping 140 viewers, but that's fantastic. I'll help you your channel get started. Maybe you would want to post mine too. It's all fair game. So we're gonna go to the dugout. I've shown you, probably not for 18 months. It might be a sinkhole, but we'll let you choose. Let you decide. Another tree I need to harvest. Been there a few years. Won't be there for many longer. So my campsite is in that bowl right over there. 50 yards, 30 yards. Give you a 360. So all of that has iodine in it, so you can sterilize things with that. You can wash your hands with it. You can stick your knee in it and get your knee wet. So all that's good for washing your hands. Fun. Here is your tundra tea. The longer the leaf, the less bitter. They chew on the leaf, as just stick it in your lip and keep chewing on it. Kind of bitter, It is bitter. I'm gonna set my phone down. Chew on it until the flavor's gone. It takes a while. Can also, besides chewing it, make tea out of it. It is tundra tea. Very high vitamin C. So here we are at the top of a hill. Quick 360. Don't get dizzy here. We're still at the top of the hill technically. I mean, it's going to go down into a valley. Got my huge canvas tarp drying out over there. I can't see anything. My screen went black. The sun is messing with it. I'm sure you can see my tarp just fine. Okay, so here we are at the top of a hill. And then there's another enormous bowl. Former fox den. So we're going to look at a couple things. Does water run down into it? Well, I'm not standing in any water. Is it too big for a 30-foot tall tree to span the roof? No. Is it big enough for a bunch of people to live in it? Yes. So we're going to look at the ridge above it and see if there's dirt built up to divert water from coming down whatever the most uphill direction is. We're going to come downhill out here. So with this one, it doesn't have an as obvious of a path out. If those trees weren't there, it might be a more of a gentle slope. So there's one thing about it that's unnatural that I didn't notice before.